All right, we'll open the meeting at 1:40. And first thing, I know it's not on our agenda, but we should put it on our adjustment to the agenda.
Yeah, Jade actually had to make this one for me, and she only had the old format, so she just kind of.
That's okay. So here we're gonna add to the agenda the signing of the dangerous building notice.
Yep.
Anything else?
One more ballot clerk.
Oh, ballot clerk? Okay.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, is that what we call it? Yeah. Okay. All right, so we'll do that. And we've signed the warrants. We don't have any previous minutes, do we?
No.
Okay. And I don't see any public comment. Anybody online?
Nope.
Okay. All right, old business will do first, Public Works loader.
Right, so the biggest and really the only decision to make is if we want to go 5 or 7 years on the lease, and the difference, the interest rate for 5 years is 5.55. Interest rate for 7 years is 5.85. So we'd be saving around $6,000 if we did it for 5 years.
How much is the payment each year?
For 5 years would be 21,856, so almost 22,000, and then for 7 years it's 16,607.
So it's about the amount of the difference.
Right. Yeah. So we
I
would
just like to think in terms of
yeah.
that.
So we would be saving. Yeah.
I
That.
mean, we've gotta come up with close to 20 grand either way. I would lean towards 5 years and
Me
get it
too.
paid.
I know
for.
that Aaron is leaning towards 5 years too. He said when you take out money, you take it out for the least amount and you pay it off as fast as you can.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I think we all kind of have
That's
that.
how I was.
Yeah.
And we're 100% like, we're doing this legally, even though, like, we can wait till next
Mhm.
to put it in the budget
Mhm.
and get town approval that way, right?
Yeah, because there's a kick-out clause in these
Right.
municipal leases,
Yeah.
and if it didn't have
I
that
know you
kick-out
said
clause.
that. I just
Right.
wanted to double check, because I don't want anything to come back on us, because I think we're doing the right thing and we need a loader. But the last thing I would want is for somebody to make a stink and then find out, oh,
Yeah,
and
no,
we don't have the old loader anymore. We don't have a new loader. Going into the winter would be a bad thing. So
right,
I trust you on that. And I just wanted to double check that that was the case.
Do you need a motion on that?
I actually have a couple of. So because. Hang on just a second, I just wanna see if it's in this. Okay. The lease will contain a non-appropriation clause. Leasing to confirm the anticipated total borrowings for 2024 year will not exceed $10 million, making this a bank qualified. So it has a non-appropriation clause, which basically means that if it's not appropriated, then it goes back.
Okay.
But yes, I do need a motion, and because it's less than $100,000, we don't have a legal opinion for this one. So there's actually gonna be an extra $2,500 in this that was already accounted for the legal fees.
Okay.
But there isn't legal fees, so it will just kind of cover the legal fees for the fire truck.
Okay.
So what I did is I went back to the vote that the lawyer had given me for the fire truck and just redid it in terms of the loader. So I figured we could just use the same vote, that way if something comes up, then I'd be like, I did it the exact same way as the fire truck. So if you wanted to read these 5 points in your motion. You were the one that did the fire truck, weren't you?
Oh, yeah. So I just make a motion that the capital acquisition project, the project consisting of a new public works loader with related attachments and accessories is hereby approved, and Two, that the financing for the project in the principal amount of $93,200 is awarded to Androscoggin Bank at the interest rate of 5.55%. And three, that the town manager is hereby authorized to execute a municipal lease purchase agreement and all other documents reasonably necessary to accomplish the purpose of this code in her capacity as town manager or in her capacity as, town treasurer, as the documents may require. And four, that the select board hereby confirms its determination that the term of this lease does not exceed 120% of the economic life of the project. And five, that the lease is hereby designated a bank qualified tax exempt obligation of the town for the 2024 calendar year under the provision of section 265B3 of Internal Revenue Code of 1986 as amended.
Beautiful.
And I will second. And, any discussion further? All right, all in favor?
Love it.
Sign this or anything?
No. I'll take it back though.
All right. How's Steve doing with that?
He doesn't say much.
No.
But he's getting there. I saw he used it to take the speed bumps out.
Yeah, he didn't do that. So little progress.
Okay.
Little.
Was the second speed bump easier than the
Yeah.
first
Yes.
speed bump?
They had it
Yes.
done before 11 o'clock.
Yeah,
And they
The first
started
one
at
Was it
9.
something about the first one that was difficult,
I
or we
think
just had
that-
to figure it out?
I know that they had some trouble figuring out the adhesive, because it was real runny, they weren't expecting that, so they had to kind of get used to how much to put in, so I know that there was some extra adhesive, like on the first one, as they were getting used to it, so I think that that's what happened, was that the adhesive kind of made its way into the sleeve, to the bolt, and
okay.
so we may have to replace some of that stuff. We haven't had that conversation yet, but we will. But the second one, he told me that he feels better about the second one because he could tell,
Yeah,
and it went in so much faster, you know, because they had everything all figured out, but.
Yeah, when I came through at 9 o'clock, they were just starting to take it up, and
Yeah.
then by 11, so 2 hours
yeah,
it took them,
yeah.
which it took them half a day to get the first one off. So,
Yeah,
More than that.
yeah, learning process.
Mhm.
Well,
Couple
So
swearing.
anyway,
is there, from Beauregard, any further training that they offer if Steve needs for the loader?
I was actually going to ask Bob if that would be, something that was a possibility, and, I'm sure he will.
Yeah, just so Steve.
And also, we don't have a manual yet.
Okay.
We'll also have a manual.
Okay.
He
And
did,
is there anybody else that should be, like, does Steve have a backup? Not Jimmy,
Yeah,
but
that's true.
like, is
Not
there
yet.
anyone
Not
else
yet.
that will need to run that?
yeah, not yet.
Okay,
It's something that will
We've
need
talked
to be
about, yeah,
discussed and,
I mean, Brian, of course, could
probably
run the
time.
other's equipment, but this is a new loader, new.
right,
yeah, Brian has tried it out,
Okay.
but.
I mean, to some degree, it's a loader and it's this, you know, the controls are the controls, but with all the buttons and bells and whistles
Mhm.
they didn't have before. I know
Well,
John
and it's
came
like-
up and drove it and said it's, if you know the controls, it's just like every other loader. There's just some tricks with it, he could tell.
Yeah, and it must be like faster, like moves faster.
Looks like. it.
Aaron thinks so, but I don't know if Steve thinks.
I don't know if Steve would, but I would be shocked if he didn't.
Yeah, I mean, a 30-year-old machine, 30-plus-year-old machine.
Yeah.
To, there's gonna be differences,
Right.
Yeah,
there's.
I'm not
gonna
as
be-
agile as
Even-
somebody 30 years younger than me.
Exactly.
Yeah, it happens, and you know, like, it takes time to learn new things, and when there's 30-plus years in between the controls, that's a huge difference.
Huge difference, yeah. Well, I just wanna, just feel for Steve, just wanna make sure he has.
Yeah.
What he
Right.
needs support wise.
Yeah.
Make it successful. Okay,
I think it will be good when the old one goes away. So there isn't the temptation to just use the old one, but I have noticed that he hasn't been using it.
And the new one's living in the garage.
Yeah,
Right, I saw
yeah.
that.
So after, like, it's lived outside for like a
Right.
week. But then
Speaking of old one, I probably missed this, so where does it go?
It's down at the dump, it's
Yeah, it's down
going
at
to
the dump.
Beauregard, they're taking.
They are, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right, they gave us a
They are
good.
giving us
trade-in.
more money. than-
Yep.
I still can't believe that they're giving us.
No, me either, me either.
Um,
Crazy stuff.
All right, special town meeting warrant.
Great. I'm just reading this warrant before you guys sign it
Yeah.
one more time.
You guys haven't heard any. There haven't been any disgruntled former fire wardens or anything.
The sign is still on the wall.
I'm sure it is.
Oh.
I actually made it a point to check yesterday.
I
and it is.
hadn't gone
So,
by, but I was intending.
I just
to,
wasn't
so
sure if the memo had been received yet.
I wonder.
I meant to add that under adjustment, can we just do a brief discussion on that sentence?
Sure. We need to read this or just sign it? We already voted on it, right?
I don't know, how do you read the whole warrant every time? No,
No.
just say you accept the warrant.
Or maybe if you said Article 2 for this, Article 3 for this,
Yeah,
the stuff in bold.
So read that part
yeah,
the
just the
bold.
bold stuff.
In Article 2 and Article 3.
and make a motion.
Yeah.
So like I make a motion that.
You accept the
Or
warrant as,
we accept the warrant as written for the sales for Article 2, for the sale of spirits for off premises consumption on days other than Sunday. And Article 3, sale of spirits for off premises consumption on Sundays.
beautiful.
I'll second, good job, the motions. Any further discussion? Pretty straightforward, all right, all in favor?
I mean, since we thought we already approved this, I feel like
I
we had all
know.
of our discussion before. We still haven't had anybody speak out against it
Right.
that I'm aware of.
And even, yeah,
Like if somebody did, I mean.
well, everybody's like, this is for Robinsons, I'm like, this is a town-wide thing,
Right.
this isn't specifically for Robinsons,
No.
it's just, it's to
But
allow
then
the
they
state
can-
to decide
Right.
Right.
who does.
Right,
Yeah.
and then that'll go for, do you need this back or?
Yeah.
Yeah, Marty.
Marty, okay. Are we also doing general assistance at that meeting? We have to do that?
We're-
You guys did that,
did.
yeah,
God, my.
because
mind is
select
like
boards
shot.
can adopt general assistance.
Okay,
ordinances.
I know, the reason I asked that is because at one previous meeting, I wrote on my calendar, special town meeting liquor and adopt, the general assistance ordinance, but you're
The
right.
public hearing was about both.
Yes. the
Yeah,
public
Right.
yeah, I don't know why I wrote that in there, so you only made me confused more.
It happens.
Sometimes when I'm taking notes while we're meeting and it's not
Yeah.
staying in there sometimes. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to see now.
Sometimes I write things down and I think it means something. And then I'll have a conversation with somebody else and then I'm like, no, that's what that means.
Yeah, yeah. It's just, we have been dealing with so much. It's
I
just,
could never take notes when I was in school because if I took notes, they were meaningless. And
Yeah.
I didn't learn anything. If
yeah,
I just paid attention, I learned it. And-
yeah,
And I mean, sometimes I regretted not having any notes, but
yeah,
not really.
yeah.
See, I write down only what I have to do. Because if I take notes on other stuff, it becomes too much.
Yeah.
But if I write down exactly what is being asked of me, then I'll remember to do that. But if I don't write it down, it does not exist because so much stuff happens
Yeah,
in between meetings.
yeah, yeah. All right, sorry for my memory there. So to the, I guess, new business, the dangerous building notice.
You guys basically just have to vote to sign the,
Make motion to sign the, notice, to Don Dunphy about his property at 19 Center Street, wait, oh, that's, yeah.
Okay.
QED.
Okay, I'll second. Any other discussion on that?
The only discussion I have is that when is this, December 12th, we need to make sure we have, or Kent has our ducks in a row as far as
I will have.
having
those in there.
evidence, like to show that the building is dangerous,
Mhm,
like I think just photographs,
mhm.
current photographs of the outside of the building. There's a door on the back of the building. You can see up to the foundation, and just taking a picture of, there's roofing on the ground, there's like.
Yeah,
just
no,
as much of that as. he
I
can.
planned on taking care of that and just going and doing it
And that's
myself,
fine.
and then pulling all the records from every time it's ever been deemed a dangerous
Mhm.
building, pulling them together so that we have one
Excellent,
file,
excellent.
and then including the current pictures as well to show the deterioration over time.
I wish if I happened to catch any animals going in and out of those the second floor, I will try to get a picture of it. Cause sometimes I laugh about the squirrels and the raccoons, they live in separate bays.
They all have their own area.
They got their own room, it's a
Yeah,
hotel.
they literally do have their own spaces, but I'll try to get a picture if I see them.
Okay.
Yeah, and, did we have the animal control officer going in there at one point?
He was
He was
trying
gonna trap,
to
he was gonna
trap
set
some.
traps, but he had to get permission from
Oh, the land.
the landowner,
Right,
who's back in Florida.
right.
So
It's
I
very
don't,
difficult to.
I don't know if he sent him a letter or called him or what, but Don called me one day wondering if the animal control guy had ever trapped before and if he was qualified, and then he proceeded to tell me how one would go about trapping it, so I was busy, I had to go.
Mm.
But anyway, but I don't know where it went after that.
Okay, all right, that's just, because we could add that to the file.
Right.
All right, very good. All in favor?
I'm not sitting here next time.
Do you need this one too? That's the sign. All right, the ballot clerk appointment.
For head Hoopla.
Make a motion to approve Ed Hoovler as ballot clerk.
I'll second.
for
Oh,
whatever.
for the upcoming election.
Yeah,
I think it's like just for the year.
for the year.
Oh, it is for you. Okay. All right, I will second. Any discussion? All in favor? This here, and then, yeah, fire warning. So I just noticed on, is it the Monson bulletin board
Yep.
Facebook page?
Mhm.
He's been posting,
Mhm.
and I didn't, it kind of jogged my memory or to remember to ask like where we are in that whole process.
So the Ben Goodwin sent him a letter last week.
That's the.
Supposedly, right, we don't
Supposedly.
know for sure that the letter actually went out.
Right. Supposedly was sending him a letter and was going to call him and the letter was,
He was gonna send us the same,
yeah,
A
he
copy
sent
of
it to us.
he did, okay.
Yeah. And to Sam. He CC'd Sam on that email as well.
How, what is Sam and Ben, how are they?
That's not.
Ben is a lieutenant in the
Yeah.
force
in the forest
Service,
service. And then,
whatever that means.
right,
I'm a lieutenant and the.
Sam above Ben.
so Ben
Ben-
must
Ben
be
is
above
above
Sam.
Oh, okay, good. Alright.
Oh, look,
Ben
it's
is
the
above.
one email that's up.
Sam is just a ranger.
Yeah, so Ben is the regional ranger, central regent. So he's above him, and the email, the letter says, I would like to thank you for your service as the town fire warden of Monson. This letter serves to inform you that your services are no longer required as of October 22nd, 2024. Consequently, your employment as the town fire warden of Monson is officially terminated.
Okay, so the 22nd, so,
So what I was gonna do is I was going to copy this letter and just put EMA director instead of town fire warden and send in the same letter, so that he knows that he's also not the EMA
Oh.
director.
right, right.
Ben told me it's not a big deal. I can't remember when we met last.
Yeah, yeah,
But Ben, I spoke to him. He said, not a big deal. Sorry, it fell through the cracks because we had somebody leave. He didn't know anything about it ever being put on hold by anybody.
oh my goodness,
So I don't know if that was a Sam thing.
Sam
or if that
thing,
was an
yeah.
actual,
yeah, got dropped.
but
So what does he now have Phil listed?
I don't know the status of that.
Yeah, so I was gonna send Ben an email and ask him if he needs our new fire warden's contact information, or if he already has it.
Yeah.
He should already have it because he already filled out the application and
Let's,
all of that
let's double
stuff.
check. make
But I
sure.
will send an email to
Right,
him
and
to
then
make sure.
the emergency,
That's all updated with the county,
okay,
so
And
it's just a
didn't Jade
matter.
update our
Our website
website
too.
and stuff too?
okay,
Yeah.
alright,
So
Do
on
we
that
have
side,
him as the fire warden on our
we
website?
did,
And that was updated?
yeah,
Oh,
we just
it
updated.
was, okay, alright,
Perfect.
good. So as far as the signs, I think we send him a certified letter that he needs to take the signs down. That's my suggestion.
Maybe,
If she can maybe confirm with Ben that he sent the letter, 'cause maybe
Yeah.
he just
Yeah.
hasn't done it.
yeah, cause
And
Yeah,
I'll
True.
see if,
at the end of the day, can somebody just have a fire danger sign up and not be fired?
Not the fire
but they're not the
warden.
fire warden sign.
Yeah.
he can't
Oh,
have
he
that.
has the fire
Yes,
the
warden
fire
sign
warden
as
sign, yeah.
well? Okay, I didn't realize that.
He can have fire danger all he wants,
Right.
whatever, but he can't
Have the fire.
fire warden sign.
Yep.
And maybe that's a matter of, I can also reach out to Ben, and maybe Ben can kind of
yeah,
take that over and say, hey, you need to take that sign down. or
yeah,
whatever.
that would be really nice if Ben could do
Yeah.
that and alleviate us of,
Right, causing more
yeah,
hate this,
yeah,
so,
okay, I tend to go in and,
well,
I think
yeah.
that's a better idea.
If we can get other people to take some of the heat, it's already pretty hot in here sometimes,
As
so.
long as it results in the
And
end
then,
result
yeah,
that we need.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, and I think that we're moving in a better direction with this guy, as long as he, is doing
As
what
long
he
as he's
says,
actually doing what he
doing what he
says,
says he's doing.
then we're fine.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
Need a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, you're really good with motions today. I will second. I know there's no discussion. All in favor?
Sweet.
And we are ending at 2:04.